Greetings all, this is Precious, the New Jamaican. Listen, when it comes to shipping costs, most people never mention the cost outside of shipping and destination charges. But I will. Stay tuned. So, as you know, I have frequently discouraged you from shipping to Jamaica or anywhere in this climate. It is just not a good idea. If you go back to watch my other videos, you get an idea of just how frustrating this entire process has been. And the wait, I mean, goodness, the wait was full of anxiety, aggravation, depression, annoyance, and that included the wait for receiving the container in Chicago and having the container delivered to us here in Jamaica. And listen, I'm glad that I don't have to do any furniture shopping now that we have our container. And I really love all of the things that we purchased stateside. But I would have traded the aggravation for shipping to Jamaica for the aggravation of shopping in Jamaica. And I hate shopping. Always hated shopping. Don't like shopping for clothes. I don't like shopping. Never have. But as far as shopping goes, you can get low, mid, and high quality furniture right here in Jamaica. You can even have some artisans make you whatever it is you want. The full headache of shipping far outweighs the headache of shopping. And if that in and of itself, just the whole frustration of shipping is not deterrent enough for you, the cost, the cost is really a major factor and should be a great deterrent. And the cost is actually the point of this video. So I want to give you a reminder of what it is we pay for our shipping costs. So our shipping charges were $3,883.95 US. And our destination charges, the charges we had to pay to our Jamaica agent, was $3,350 US. Please go back and watch my other videos where I give you details as to what those charges all included. But there are more charges, more costs that you will incur. Now, even though we have returning resident status, we still had to pay a fee to Jamaica Customs. Now, what returning resident status does is it allows you to be able them to waive certain duties on certain items that you ship in, but not all items. Remember, I told you Customs and your agent will give you an entitlement list showing you all of the things that you can bring in used and new without being charged a duty. But that entitlement list is only somewhat inclusive of everything that you're going to bring in. I mean, you're going to bring in clothes, you're going to bring in shoes, you're going to bring in other personal items, you're going to bring in kitchen accessories outside of pots and pans and plates and whatnot. And if you have a hobby, you're going to bring in things that are relative to said hobby. You're even going to bring in food items, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So but none of those items are actually on the entitlement list, but you're going to bring them in. You can also bring in a bunch of chairs and tables and a mass of tools, but customs may charge you for what they deem to be beyond the normal mass. So you get where I'm going with this. You will be charged an assessment fee from Jamaica Customs. And I will venture to say that if you brought in only the items that are on that entitlement list, you will still be charged some kind of assessment fee for Jamaica from Jamaica Customs. And that may just be a fee just to assess what it is that you have, but you're going to be charged. You're not getting away without paying something to Customs. Now, our assessment fee was $63,497.59 Jamaican dollars. Now, what that included I don't really know. They didn't say. They just said, this is what you have to pay, and that is exactly what we paid straight away. We then had to pay the detention deposit, which is the fee that you would pay up front and that should be refundable if the carrier, who is the owner of the container, receives their container back in a timely fashion. And this could be between 500 and 1500 US dollars. Now, apologies for going back and forth between US dollars and Jamaican dollars, but I'm just giving you this information as it was quoted to me, and I will make things clearer at the end of the video. But what we were charged for the detention deposit was $60,062. Um, as a note, Jamaica Customs and neither your agent will get started on releasing your container to you until the assessment fee and the detention deposits are paid. So just keep that in mind. They won't even get started until you pay those fees straight away. Now the next charge was the demurrage fee. Now this fee has something to do with loading and unloading the container from the vessel. Now if you look up the definition of demurrage, it says a charge payable to the owner of a chartered ship on failure to load or discharge the ship within the time agreed. I'm a little bit confused by that definition, seeing as how you are automatically charged a demurrage fee, so whatever. Anywho, what we were charged was $145,302.34 Jamaican. Now this was for a week, and your final demurrage charge is going to be determined by how long your container is actually at the port. There's really no way of knowing ahead of time what the final charge is going to be. So the agent will give you a quote based on how busy the port is at that particular time. Now for us, our container came in right before the big Christmas rush. But there were a few containers ahead of ours. So we beat it just by a smidge. Now the next charge is the port storage. This goes hand in hand with demurrage. Port storage is just what it sounds like. As you are waiting for your container to be assessed, your container is taking up space at the port, so hence you will be charged for storing your container there. And this is actually going to be the smallest of the charges that you will incur. What we ended up having to pay was 8,000 Jamaican dollars. And again, this was for a week. And just like the demurrage, the final charge is determined based on how long the container is going to be at the port. So they had us pay for a week worth of demurrage and a week worth of port storage in the hopes that that would be it. It wasn't. Like I said, there were containers ahead of ours. And what is entailed at this juncture is really quite an undertaking. So what they have to do when your container comes in, they have to strip your container, take everything off. They then have to see what you have. They have to compare what you have to the entitlement list and your packing list to assess what it is indeed you have. They then have to determine your fees. They then have to reload the container with all of your items. Now, I guess if you have arranged for delivery on your own, they still will have to take all of that off, take all of your items off of the container and either reload it onto the container and you have a driver deliver it on your own, or you have a truck there on your own, whatever. Those are a lot of steps. And since this has to be done for every single container, and if there are containers ahead of yours, and there will be, this could take a few days or quite a few days. So to that end, after our week had come and gone, we were then charged an additional 4 days for demurrage and port storage. Now, the additional 4 days for demurrage for us was $47,801.32. For the port storage, it was 32 Jamaican dollars. Both of those are Jamaican dollars. And here's a funny little thing about that. We were initially quoted these charges in Jamaican dollars, but we were then later told by our agent that, if you pay in Jamaican dollars, you're going to be charged an extra 3.5% to your charge. We had already paid the customs assessment and the first demurrage and port fees in Jamaican dollars. So we wanted to go back and pay everything in US dollars. I mean, we're trying to save every little bit that we can, but it was going to be a bit of a headache for the agent to switch from Jamaican dollars to US dollars. So we were just stuck with that 3.5 fee tacked on to everything. So that was it. Now, that's a lot, right? But I want to be a little bit clear on what it is. So let's go over those numbers again. And I'm going to use an exchange rate of 150 US dollars to one Jamaican dollar. So for customs assessment, we had to pay $63,497.59 Jamaican. That comes to $423.32 US. The detention deposit, we had to pay $60,062, and that came to a little less than what we anticipated having to pay, which was $400.41. Now, for the week of port charges, the demurrage, we had to pay $145,302.34, coming to $968.60 US. Port storage for the week, 8,000 Jamaican, which came to $53.33 US. For the additional 4 days of port charges, demurrage was $47,801.32, which is $318.67 US. And the port storage was 3,200 Jamaican dollars, which was $21.33, giving a total of $327,863.25, a total in US of $2,185.75. Now tack on what we've already paid. Shipping, $3,883.95, and for destination charges to our agent, $3,350. That entire total, $9,419.71. But wait, there's more. When we were arranging the whole shipping deal, our shipper informed us that if we go over the allotted time to load the container, we will be charged extra for that time. From what I gather throughout the shipping industry, based on other shippers that I've spoken to, you are typically given 2 hours to load a 20-foot container and 3 hours to load a 40-foot container. Well, that's just not even possible. It's not even a thing. Even if you owned a house and had all of your items outside of the house waiting for the container, it's going to take you longer than 2 hours to load a 20-foot container. If you have enough things to put on a 20-foot container, you just can't do it in 2 hours. But, I was expecting that charge. So I actually thought that they were going to send us an invoice for that a lot sooner than they did. I had actually almost forgotten all about it until we received an invoice from the shipper after we paid everything for to our Jamaican agent and for Jamaica Customs, so forth and so on. So I received an invoice from the shipper for $721. They said they had a breakdown of it, saying 500 of that was for 5 hours of extra loading time. 200 of that was for a pre-pull charge. $21 of that was for paying via PayPal, which, by the way, they are the ones who chose PayPal for payment. I had to then ask them what the pre-pull charge was for. Now they claimed that it was because they had to go to the terminal and pull the container to see if there were any empty ones. Complete hooey. That never happened. And what was so odd about this and annoying about this portion was that once the shipper sent me an email with the invoice, they started bombarding me with emails. Pay this, pay this. One of which was threatening. Oh, we're going to withhold your container. I'm like, what are you talking about? They no longer even had control over the container at that moment. But at any rate, after they explained what the pre-pull charge was for, I sent them an email explaining, giving them a play-by-play of what I remembered happened with respect to delivery of the container to Chicago. They never pre-poured anything. I spoke with the vice president of operations, and he is the one who told me that he could see on the system that nothing had been pulled. We got the container. When we got the container, nothing happened beforehand. So I told them very kindly, very professionally, but very sternly, remove that $200 charge for the pre-pool, since that never happened. Since it does not cost me anything to pay up via PayPal, remove the $21 charge and never threaten me again. They kindly did that. So we ended up having to pay $500 for the extra loading time. Now, that comes to a complete total of our entire shipment, shipping, destination charges, and all of those other charges that I just mentioned, $9,919.71. Now, we might get the $400 back for the detention deposit. So hopefully we will get all of that back, but that is quite a lot. So now what you have to do is ask yourself what you can get in Jamaica for that. And is it worth it to do all of this? If you were to ask me whether shipping to Jamaica is worth it, my answer is a resounding no. It is an utter and a complete waste of time, money, and effort. Do not do it. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I trust this video was informative and gives you a better idea of what shipping to Jamaica will cost you financially and otherwise. The decision is ultimately yours, and I'm sure you will make the best choice for you. Please remember to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you will know every time I upload a new video. Please also go back and give my other videos a watch, a like, a comment, and share them as well. Signing off and now, love, joy, and health to you until we meet again. Stay conscious and stay connected. Peace.